Hi, this is Eva Cartman, host of the Dream Big podcast show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. How do you feel when you're happy? Amazing, right? When you're full of joy, when you're smiling and laughing. There's no denying the fact that being happy feels great. So I'm about to share some really good news. You don't need a reason to be happy. You can just decide to be happy. It's a decision that you get to make each and every day. And I can prove it to you. You know what time it is? This is episode 288 of the Dream Big podcast, and it's time to dream big.
My name is Eva Cartman. I'm part of a squad of super kids that are here to change the world. We don't believe you need to be adults to have big goals and start working towards your dreams. We believe age is just a number, and you're never too young to make a difference. We may be young, but we are not naive. We understand that achieving our big dreams will not be easy. It will take incredible dedication, hard work, and yes, massive action. There will be ups and downs, but we embrace the challenges and relish pushing outside of our comfort zone because this is how we grow. They may not teach us these concepts in our school textbooks, but we are smart enough to know that the tools and tactics to achieve our big dreams are out there. And we are willing to do the work to seek out these skills and master them because we know that our future depends on it. We are the big dreamers, and it's time to dream big.
Before we dive into this week's episode, here's Silly Sophia to make us all laugh.
What did the wolf say when it stubbed its toe? Ouch! What do cakes and baseball teams have in common? They both need a good batter.
Thank you, Sophia. We talk a ton on this podcast about success and achievement. That shouldn't be a surprise since this is the Dream Big podcast. But I also talk a lot about positive emotions like gratitude, happiness, and joy. Why? Well, because we all know that there are far too many people in the world who have reached the greatest heights in terms of financial success, who own private planes and yachts and mansions and fancy cars, but are at the same time miserable and depressed. How can that be? Tony Robbins would say that those people have mastered the science of achievement, but not the art of fulfillment. They have figured out how to start a business and grow it and create value that makes them millionaires or even billionaires, but have failed at the art of fulfillment, of finding joy and happiness in their lives. Many of these billionaires have failed relationships, few friends, and nobody to enjoy their riches with. Sad, right? I'm very fortunate in that my grandparents have a vacation home near Ensenada, Mexico. It's about a 5-hour drive from where I live, so we're able to visit often, and we can drive, which makes it easy to get there. The last time we visited, my grandparents were kind enough to invite the security guard from the community where they live and his wife and 3 children to brunch. I know these kids have far less than I do in terms of material items. They live in a small house and they can't afford fancy vacations. It's even rare for them to enjoy a nice meal at a restaurant. But guess what? They were all so happy. At the end of our meal, the kids went to my grandparents and gave them a big hug and thanked them for the delicious meal. They were so grateful for the experience that my grandparents had treated their entire family to a nice meal. My parents recently returned from a trip to Dubai. They told me a story about a Pakistani cab driver that they met there. He was explaining that in Dubai, there were restaurants for the ultra-wealthy where you could spend thousands of dollars on a meal, and there were also Indian cafes where cab drivers like him could get a basic meal for less than $2. My parents told me that the cab driver was the happiest person they met on the entire trip. The cab driver couldn't afford to live the lifestyle that many live in Dubai, but he was laughing and smiling as he explained how he lived in Dubai on as little money as possible, so he can send any extra money back to his wife and 4 children in Pakistan and save money to visit them. The kids that I met in Mexico and the cab driver in Dubai are all so happy, but they have so much less opportunity than I have, or that many listening to this podcast have. So what does that tell you? Happiness is a decision that you get to make, and you don't need a reason at all to be happy. The Pakistani cab driver had been working overtime, driving his taxi 14 hours per day to make as much money as possible during the holiday season to send to his family. He had plenty of reasons not to be happy, but he chose to be happy. So that's my wish for all you big dreamers, and something that I'm working on this year more and more. To decide to be happy and to not require any reason at all, just because I want to be happy. That's reason enough. So be happy. Just decide to be. That's all for today. This is Eva Cartman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional. You need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion the way life was meant to be. I'll see you next episode. Bye.